I don't want to spend too much time on packaging, but I will tell you I don't like it. I like the art here. I like how this is how the old boxes kind of looked on the front of the packaging, and then people lost their minds because they wanted to see the product. Because if you're an inbox collector, I get it. I just don't like this just black border, and even the Joes just kind of have a blue border. I think the Joes should have like red, white, and blue. You know, it's a real American hero, and it's just not fun. You know, this is fun packaging, but this packaging is kind of there to sell the figure. This is more packaging just to be packaging for you to buy the figure. I know that sounds screwy. It's just something like a NECA Ben Cooper. The packaging is part of the charm. Let's stop talking about packaging. I'm not going to talk about your barcode or your legal mush. That's for my boy Yojo Jerk to discuss because he makes it fun. I just want to rip these fuckers out of the box and talk about two really cool toys, baby. Let's talk about them next on Toy Games.
Toy Games! Yeah! You and me, baby! Toy Games! I can't take it anymore! It's Toy Games!
First impressions of Torch. It's a great tribute to the original figure. And speaking of the original figures, you know, the Dreadnoks, you had people, of course, pick Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, you know, your ninja fans. And then you had your friends that loved the bad guys. They'd pick Firefly and Cobra Commander and Destro. And then you had your friends that loved just picking Duke, and Flint was always a big-time hero. But me, I love the Nox, baby. I love Thrasher. I love Ripper, Buzzer, Torch. I really loved Road Pig. I'm shocked we haven't gotten him before we got Gnawgahyde and Monkey Wrench. I love just their name. Their names spoke to me. Monkey Wrench and Torch here. And it's a great tribute with some upgrades, obviously. The flame tattoos on the arm. I said this a year ago or 2 years ago, and classified G.I. Joe nuts, you know, got at me. You know, you can thank Valorverse for tattoos being on these figures. They did it first, and I really think it influenced. I know Gung Ho had the tattoo on his chest, but in my opinion, I think they would have stopped there. Hate me all you want. That's just my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. You know, opinions on that matter aside, great release. I hate floaty stuff. You know, you got a floaty armband. I always get the floaty things in a position and I glue it because it drives me fucking bonkers. But detail. I wish the chains around the wrist were the same silver. That kind of irks me. I wish it just matched. This has that paint on it. That doesn't. I love this detail on the back. It says Nox Rule, little skull. Getting that backpack out, you got these nice painted studs. Flames on the pockets. They really care about this line. And just to bring in, and I'm not saying that, listen. I hate saying things that you got to understand. I'm not trying to say things inflammatory, pun intended, as a Dreadnought passes my street on a motorcycle. I don't say things to get people pissed off. I love this figure from last year. One of my favorites from last year. But here's where they kind of get away with the excuse of, well, it's a comic book, it's a drawing. See how these boots have that high sculpt going above the knee? You could have did that here. Just had the articulation still there, but you could have had raised boots. These are boots. These aren't painted on the tights. These are boots. So that's where some things I wish in-house they borrowed from Classified. I don't think one is better than the other. Some people say Classified is kicking the Marvel Legend team's ass. I don't agree. But this figure is dripping with detail. The chain, the dog collar. This is really cool. This plug you got a skull with flames coming out of it. That plugs out, and you have a different flame effect. And then you kind of have the sweeping flame effect. I've never manipulated a flamethrower, but I know they have different nozzles, different ways of shooting out that flame. Great looking figure. You could tell someone on this team is a Motorhead fan because Rock and Roll looked like Zakk Wylde and Torch here looks like Lemmy. Great figure, highly recommend. And if you're all in on the classified line, you probably have this guy coming from BBTS. You will not be disappointed. Let's take a look at the original 3 Dreadnoks. There they are. What are you doing in here? That's a little Torch. That's another Torch altogether. There they are. Original 3, Buzzer, Ripper, Torch, and all their glory. You've waited for this moment. I wish the Dreadnoks, I guess dripping them out. One here, one there, one here, one there isn't the worst. You also have this little flame that plugs in like it's in like rest mode. You mean business, but you're not ready to give them the full fucking blast like you do with the wife or the girlfriend, if you know what I mean. Fun figure. Really like it. I just wish the chains around the wrist match the chains on the vest. Let's get to Gnawgahyde and all his little animal buddies. It's like opening an Ace Ventura figure. Okay, so this figure is on the gung-ho buck. And sometimes classified gets weird. Like, I know Bazooka is on the torso cut. He doesn't have that. He has the classic ab crunch. It's on the gung-ho buck. So anything you've expected articulation-wise, and why am I talking so freaking weird, is here. Double joints. Nothing is hindering the articulation because he has a lot of stuff going on. And before I kid him out, cool tattoo, like a skull with an arrow going through it, anarchy tattoo on his freaking head, scars on his head. Fantastic stuff. Really a lot going on. This figure was kind of pricey, but you get a lot of stuff. He's kind of like biting his lip. I don't know if I like that. It's kind of like trying to be sexy or something. It's kind of giving me the fucking heebie-jeebies. But other than that, awesome. A lot of detail. I hate floaty stuff. I'm telling you, I glue this shit down, man. I glue it down. On the back, you got some leopard shit going on. You put a knife in there, a little rope in there. There is shit. He's dripping with detail. Fun fact, the original Gnawgahyde figure when I was a kid was my first custom. I turned my original G.I. Joe Gnawgahyde into Wolverine because he had like the mutton chops and he had yellow going on, and I liked the way he was one of those jacked G.I. Joe figures. Him and Roadblock were kind of jacked, so I turned him into Wolverine. I wish I had that laying around. Let's kid him out and take a look at what he looks like with all of his crap. Before we get to the figure, let's get in depth, baby, in depth. My gnarly freaking work hands. This sniper rifle case, is this the same one we got with low light? Tell me in the comments. I have low light. My G.I. Joes are all standing together proudly. And if my mitts reach over there, they'll go full dominoes. And I don't feel like doing that. But this is awesome. You have the stand from when he wants to lay down and snipe you from the grass. The silencer, the scope, the gun. Of course, it all comes out. Really nifty. It closes. You could plug something in there. Really nice. Really nice. Plug it in the back. That's cool. The bow. Compound bow. Something Rambo would have in Rambo 3. This feels like a piece of chewed up bubblegum. This is the gummiest thing I've gotten in quite some fucking time. I'm almost afraid to do anything with it. It is extremely gummy. Maybe it was really hot in the FedEx truck. I don't know. The knives look fine. They're not gummy. They're firm, the old firmage. They got a nice paint on there. They're both identical. The arm saber that will cut through like thick brush to get to the enemy. It's bent. It's bent like, you know, a bad fucking porn star prick. I don't know. I don't, look at that. Bad news there. I don't, you know, I'm trying to be nice here. It's a downer because everything else is so fucking cool. And this stuff is just, that's bad, man. Look at that fucker, man. That's going in 16 different fucking directions. The backpack with the arrows do not come out. You do have one arrow that comes out. Where the fuck did I put it? Did I drop it? There is one lone arrow that comes out. This is also sort of gummy. I want to get through the negative. All the accessories other than this and the two knives feel like shit. The little monkey Yobo, he's wearing a freaking patch. How awesome is that? Fortunately, he's not articulated, but he's cute as hell. He's awesome. Let's move on to everything on the figure and look at pork belly as well. I gotta tell you, kids, the star of the show here is pork belly, and Hasbro and Classified specifically continues to shine with their animals, whether it be Crocmaster and then the croc, the alligator, Timber, even the eagle spirit comes with. He's got his little snout pierced, his ear pierced, his freaking mouth is articulated. If I can get my mitts in there. I mean, this looks like someone that would run around the streets with Bebop. Altogether, it looks nice. That bow is, I'll show you a picture here. After messing with my Hiya Toys Rambo bow with a real string and something you could draw back and really put in the figure's arms and hands and have him cock back the bow and really look like he's using it. This thing, it's just a toy. You know, this is a toy. This is like a toy bow. The accessories, other than the sniper rifle in the pouch, are a huge bummer. He gets the job done. I really like Torch much better. I'll bring Torch back in for a little height comparison. You can kind of see he's on that gung-ho buck. He's a little more stout. I like Torch better altogether. You know, I'm more of a, once you have everything together and you have all your dreadnoughts on the shelf, I'll be happy. I'll be fine. I don't play with toys, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to take him out in the yard and be bummed that I break his rubber bow, because I'm not going to break it because I don't fucking play with it. I mean, I'm not coping or making excuses for the company. Would I rather a bow like the Hiya Toys Rambo comes with? Of course. But that's $100 figure. This was $45. I'm realistic. I'm not making excuses. It just is what it is. The truth of the matter is, though, they look great standing here. And at the end of the day, that's what matters. Let me know what you think. You could always tell me I'm totally fucking wrong. I will never get mad at comments like that. In fact, I almost encourage it. You know, everyone is so positive to me. If you want to bust my balls ever or critique me or say I'm wrong, I'll never get mad at you guys. You guys have been so freaking cool with me. Throwing the Gaines head on other figures. You know, we got that contest going right now to July 15th. You get the 100th Valorverse figure if you win our Toy Gaines pick contest. We don't have any graphics for that yet. We will. As always, guys, take care. Have fun.
Woo! Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah!